And my brother was saying to me that he makes like $50,000 a year now, and he was saying to me that it just complicates things more. Like going from basically like a broke guy to making $50,000 a year now. It's like it increases the margin for error. So it's very hard to aim properly with it. I always had this analogy in my head of like you know how you can sing when you're a kid. Like it's not, there's no break in your voice. Like you can go you know, and you can just sing fine, and there's no like concentrating going on, and there's no like big thrill about hitting a high note when you're a kid, because it has no chance of falling apart because, you know, your voice hasn't broken yet. But as you get older, as you know, things get more complicated with your voice, you know, it becomes more difficult to hit the high notes because it feels like it's hanging on by a thread. And, you know, it takes a lot more technique, takes a lot more discipline, takes a lot more balls. But the result is, you know, it's a much fucking ballsier, more meaningful note that you're hitting. Instead of, you know, like a child's high note is like, oh, but, you know, an adult's high note, especially an adult male's high note, because it's harder for men to hit high notes than it is for women. Oh, I don't know that for sure, but it just seems like it is. An adult male's high note is like, you know, that's like the fucking big balls right there. You know, the reward is greater, but the risk is steeper. And, you know, it's harder to focus in on that point of resonance. And, you know, likewise with the money thing with my brother, it's like, you know, it's going from a child singing to an adult trying to sing, and you know, it takes some practice, but you know, eventually you'll get the hang of it, and it'll be a more potent note than it was when you were, you know, just broke as a joke. Actually, I was listening to what's his goddamn name, Gabriel Iglesias, and something just struck me about him as like a child, like, you know, like a childish form of God, if that makes any sense. Like he's so perfect, you know. It's like, you know, the whole thing is just very, but perfect, but in a very, you know, very. I keep thinking of the word chibi, like Japanese when they say like chibi trunks or whatever. But you know, it's perfect in a very juvenile way. But I think that's the same principle applies there. Like he's hitting on a resonance, that's very, like, you know, non-ballsy, but, you know, very pure. It's extremely pure, but there's no, like, dramatic flair to it. You know, there's no balls to it. It's just too perfect. You know, it's like, you know, things that are really, really worthwhile. They have, like, little imperfections in them. And they're not perfect, but somehow they are.